Hello and welcome to the Michigan Lacrosse Stadium. My name is Alex Kramer and I'm joined alongside Daniel Thompson, and we're here for a Michigan men's lacrosse game as the Wolverines take on the Air Force. And we're here today. Michigan now 3-2, undefeated at home, 0-2 on the road, taking on Air Force, who is 1-4 now, having a struggle of a season after the majority of their coaching staff and players were suspended before the year. Michigan themselves are coming off of a bit of a rough patch after losses to both Yale and Penn in tough games. They came back and beat Siena last week on March 3rd, 13-7. This is an important game for both teams. Try to get off on the right foot and move forward heading into conference play. So Daniel, what are you seeing from both teams here that leads you to believe either of them could win this game?
Well, the Wolverines have been excellent so far at U-M Lacrosse Stadium. They struggled perhaps in their second game against Bellarmine. However, they've still cruised to very comfortable margins of victory in their first three games ever in this brand new stadium. They have outscored opponents by a combined score of 34-19. So they've played very well so far here. And you can forgive them a bit for dropping two games on an East Coast road trip. Lost to number 18 Penn and number 11 Yale at the time of those games. So definitely forgivable there. And Air Force is a team that you definitely anticipate will get stronger as the year goes on. Obviously, they're going through a lot of changes with their program. Had the hazing scandals at the start off the year. Had to suspend players, coaching staff. It was a lot of overhaul for them, and that's the kind of team that you expect. It's going to be a rocky start, but as they carry on through the year, get used to the changes, they should be improving constantly. So they may be 1-4. They lost to a Cleveland State team who the Wolverines beat 15-5 here back in February. Nonetheless, this isn't a team that you should write off. They're going to get better as the year goes on.
And the starters are being announced for the Wolverines right now, and we'll go through them as well. For your Wolverines, in goal will be Matt Trowbridge, who started the majority of the games. On the attack will be the first start of the year from Hank Adams, number 6, after the injury to Alex Buckenvidge last week against Siena. Joining him on the attack line will be Rocco Sutherland, number 29, and freshman Kevin Mack, number 12. In the midfield, Decker Curran will be manning that spot, number 4. Avery Myers will be making his first start of the year, and alongside the ever steady Bren Noseworthy, number 15. And on the back line, Nick DiCaprio, number 9, Michael Border, number 35, and J.D. Carroll, number 40. Moving on to the Falcons, in goal for them will be Braden Host, a 43% save percentage for him. The 3 attackmen will be Matthew Schwartz, Nick Hirobi, and Roman Roback. On the midfield line, they will have Jack Flynn and Nick Forrest. And on defense, they'll have Vince Lombardi, Doc Schletka, and Christian Pung. For the Wolverines, Mitch McDonald will be the face-off specialist today. We might get a little bit of a mix in from Connor Crowan, the freshman, who's been a phenom as a late 55% face-off percentage. He's been a revelation for the Wolverines. And they're going to go against one of the best in the country in Trent Harper, who the second game of the year came up against Trevor Baptiste of Denver and matched him tit for tat, going 9 for 18. Baptiste won the other 9. But a fantastic face-off specialist coming to Ann Arbor, and we're going to see who can get the better off that face-off specialist head. And we've seen from the Falcons this year is they've never lost that battle at the X. Even in the games they've lost, they've still won possession more times than not there. They've tied only once, and this is a fantastic team from the X, and that's my key to the game. And what do you see from are the strong points of the Falcons going right now?
For sure, you just mentioned they're a 1-4 team, but they've been winning or at worst tied in a game against Denver rather. So very impressive face-off record for them. That's going to be, I think, an area they can exploit on this Wolverines team. They've been improving on face-offs. They struggled quite a bit last year. It's an area for improvement for the Wolverines, and I think that's going to be it. The Falcons will provide a fantastic test for them. It'll be interesting to see how much the Wolverines can. Probably they'll just be limiting the damage. I'd imagine they're going to lose the face-off battle today, but it'll be interesting to see how the Wolverines handle such a good face-off man.
The Wolverines are the first to get to the X, and the Falcons are walking out now. interesting to see Connor Cronin will get the first faceoff for the Wolverines as he's kind of taken over that starting spot from McDonald. Got a couple long stick middies out there for the Wolverines. Finn Goonan will be starting on that for that long stick midfield line. We've seen him on the back end on defense for the majority of the year, but he's going to be starting working with faceoffs in this game.
Wolverines are .496 on the year, so batting just a bit under 500 in faceoffs. So, I mean, it more or less even. However, the Wolverines have been playing a few weaker opponents in the beginning of the season. They're going to want to improve it for Big Ten play. Tonight will certainly provide a challenge.
Sam Bowdry will also join Goonan there as a long stick midfielder for the Wolverines. And for the Falcons, they'll have Christian Pong out there as a long stick midi. We're just about ready to get underway here in Ann Arbor. The officials dressed for the weather here. It's under 30 degrees now. A brisk game for the Wolverines and Falcons. Both Harper and Cronin are down in the position. The whistle is blown. Got a battle here to start. Ball is on the ground, and Michigan comes up with possession of it. That's going to be number 9, Nick DiCaprio. Successful clear for the Wolverines. And now they'll get into their offensive possession. Decker Curran will run on the field now as Bowdry runs off.
Interestingly, Crowan came off right after that face-off, so did his job and then came out.
Now the junior captain, Brent Noseworthy, trots on the field and will run into his possession. He's the leader of this Wolverine team, and immediately the ball hits the deck, and the Falcons look like they're going to have possession of it. And a quick pass up front, but it was a little too out front for the Falcons. That's going to be a turnover for them. And that's going to be a flag on the Wolverines for offside. So it looks like it's going to be Falcon ball.
Interesting turn of events there. Wolverines were in possession, looking like they're going to get this game off to a solid start. Then this a terrible pass ends up rolling well into the into Michigan's own defensive zone, toward Michigan's defensive zone. Michigan has to end up committing a penalty trying to get back on it. What could have been a fast break goal for the Falcons.
That's going to be a 30-second penalty on J.D. Brody. He's going to be on the sideline for this as the Falcons in their first man-up opportunity of the game. Brody has it now, passing it along the edge. A lot of passing and then a turnover from the Falcons as number 31, Matthew Schwartz, could not pass it to the alley. And now it's going to be Wolverines ball. A sloppy start to the game for the Falcons.
Indeed, both teams' first offensive possession ends in just a careless turnover. Really unforced errors, passes that just rolled beyond the defender or beyond the attacker. Now Michigan gets a chance to be the first team to at least end a possession without committing a turnover.
Trowbridge with a deep pass to Avery Myers, who's able to run it up past the halfway line with ease and get into the offensive zone. Kevin Mack providing that quarterback position behind the cage. Something he's done on here. Pass to Noseworthy. Noseworthy inside. And that's going to be a pass to Myers, who takes a shot, and that's going to hit the top pole. Almost had a perfect shot there. Got it by the goalie, but that's just an unlucky shot there for the Wolverines. Now Decker Curran has it. Passes to Myers inside. Myers brings it back out and passes to Noseworthy. Noseworthy on the right alley looking for a pass behind the cage. Gets it there. Now Mack running inside. Dodge to his left. He's taken down by the Falcon defender, but he gets back up and passes it off to Noseworthy. He mans up his defender and passes it behind the cage again. Pass inside to Curran. Curran with a quick shot. That's going to hit the bottom. That's going to hit right in front of the goal. And it's going to remain Wolverine possession. A great shot there by Curran and an even better save there by Host.
And the Wolverines are moving the ball so quickly, I didn't even get a chance to talk about how unbelievably close Avery Myers' first shot was to going in. I mean, that hit the inside of the upper crossbar. I don't think he could have gotten any closer and not scored a goal.
Did not go in, though, and that's all that matters here. Quick dodge inside. Pass behind to Mack. Mack right in front of the cage to Curran. Curran misses it. And he jumped inside of the restricted area, so it's going to be the Falcons' ball. 12-18 left in the first quarter now. Michigan doing a job getting a couple of early shots, but none of them have found the back of the net.
For a solid minute, the Wolverines really had their offense moving. They were getting quick passes, good looks, had a bit of an unfortunate ricochet that resulted in no goal there, and then got a little bit careless toward the end of that possession. Nonetheless, a stark improvement over their first possession, which was much ado about nothing before a horrendous turnover.
And the Falcons will get into their offensive possession after about 20 seconds of stalling. Hirobi passes it back. A little bit of a careless pass there, but gets this to his man. Falcons make it a couple subs now. Number 35, Cameron Carter with the ball now, passing it back and forth. And now he'll start on the right alley. Number 50 of the Wolverines guarding him. Attempts to dodge inside, gets by his man. Looks for a pass. Not there. He'll pass to the right side now. And then back up top. They've got a short stick advantage here. A dodge to his right. Gets inside. A quick shot there, and that's going to find the back of the net. That's a goal for the Falcons. Quick shot off of one leg. And it's going to put the Air Force up 1-0 with 10:57 left in the first quarter.
And that was some real impressive just footwork and stick handling on that possession. The Falcons had about one pass in the final 30 seconds, but that was all they needed. They kept on making quick athletic moves to cut in toward the crease, and ultimately they were able to get a good look, and they have a 1-0 lead now on the Wolverines with 10:57 to go here in the first.
Cronin will trot back out, as will Harper. That goal is going to go to Andrew 10. No assist on the play. That's going to be Andrew's second goal of the year, 4th point.
They're getting set up in the middle. We'll see how Wolverines started off the face-off battle well.
We got a battle up front, and Cronin falls on top of it, but they're gonna give it to the Falcons there. Solid job by Cronin there, just battling with Harper.
For sure, that took forever to decide. Their Air Force might be feeling good about their face-offs so far, but Michigan is certainly making them work for them so far tonight.
Forrest with the ball on the far right side, just waiting for a pass here. Passing it to number 20, Troy Leverick. And then to 48, Chet Dunston. Now it's Herbie on the right side. Dodge inside, gets by his man. A quick shot and a great save by Trowbridge. And they're going to start the counterattack here. DiCaprio taking it up after the pass from Trowbridge. DiCaprio looks to run it inside. Pass to Sutherland. Sutherland dodges inside with a shot, and that hits the top of the crossbar. That's going to be no good.
The crossbar has been the Wolverines' worst enemy so far tonight. That's two fantastic-looking shots that end up resulting in nothing.
And a counterattack now. Number 21, Herbie getting inside. Two quick dodges. Swarming Wolverine defense. And they're going to stop him off the break. Great defensive positioning there, but he gets by him now. Herbie inside, and a great save by Trowbridge again.
Yeah, it looked like he just was able to get a stick on that one, deflected away from the goal. What a high-flying few minutes of lacrosse we've had here. It's back and forth, teams sprinting up and down the field.
And another shot there. That's going to be no good as well. This time it's from Schwartz. But the Falcons get to it first, and they'll retain possession. 9:25 left in the first quarter. Falcons lead 1-0.
Falcons slowing the pace a bit down right here.
Jack Flynn with the ball now. 35, dodge to the right. Gets inside. Another dodge, makes his defender fall. But chooses to back it out. 15 for the Falcons running it in. Pass it behind the cage to Herbie. Excuse me, that's going to be Schwartz. Schwartz loses it on the ground. Battle on the defender. He falls on top of it. Boggles there for the Wolverines. And Borda's there as well, but that's going to be no ado. It's going to remain Falcons possession. A great ground ball win for them. Now attack inside by number 35 for Air Force. Back behind the cage to Herbie. Pass to Schwartz. Schwartz back to Flynn. Flynn manning up his short stick. It's going to be McKee. And then another shot from Flynn this time. That's going to find the back of the cage. Trowbridge is not happy. Second goal for the Air Force Falcons, 2-0 with 8:25 left in the first quarter.
Once again, Air Force ends up scoring thanks in part to just great footwork and quickness. Parker McGee really got beat there as Air Force is able to cut inside and get a good look for a goal. Wolverines are going to have to cut down on that. They're going to have to maybe be a bit more aggressive covering their men now after getting beat twice now to allow 2 Air Force goals.
Wolverines not doing a good job converting off of their offensive possessions. Have had 3 wide open shots. One of them sailed over the crossbar and 2 have hit that crossbar. They have to do a better job finishing on those opportunities. Cronin and Harper back there now. Great battle there. No one with any clean wins thus far. Harper kicks it over to the right side, and he's going to save it inside, but go out of bounds. It's going to be Wolverines' ball there. And the second win for Cronin. And now Goonan passes to Chase Young, number 3. Another one of the captains for this team. And Noseworthy will run in now. Young running up the sideline to get it in to get in successful clear into the offensive possession, does so. Back behind the cage to Mack. Mack gets it up top to Young. Young's got it still. The dodge to his right. Behind the cage now. Rocco Sutherland has it behind. Looking to go to his right. Dodges, but goes back to his left. It's around the cage. A quick shot and a great save by House. And the Falcons will take it up now. Almost there, a steal by Rocco, but that's going to be to no ado as well. And with 7:30 left in the first quarter, the Falcons stifle the Wolverines on offense yet again.
The Falcons have to be really happy with where they are right now, up 2-0, well on their way for their second win of the year. It's very early. Of course, the Wolverines are going to get on the board some and make this a more interesting game, but for the time being, Air Forces showed some really good offense at times. They've definitely possessed the ball for longer than the Wolverines. So despite the fact that they're losing the face-off battle, they're still up 2-0. They have to be very happy with that right now as they are regrouping, collecting their offense once they got some players they wanted in. They now bring it back behind the cage.
It's going to be Schwartz with a dodge to his right. Great help defense there by Chase Young to stifle that. Quick pick from Forrest. Schwartz inside. Passes it to number 43. He takes a shot and a great save by Trowbridge. The Wolverines will take it up now. Quick dodge by Boggle. And then back to Borda, who passes to Trowbridge. Trowbridge to Curran. Curran looking to take it up now. Dodges to his right. He's got 3 Air Force defenders on him. Tries to cross him up, but loses the ball. But he gets it back. And now he's going to run to the offense possession. No one's stopping him here. Passes to Myers on the left. Myers back to Sutherland to Mack. Passing around the arc now, are they? Chase Young to Myers. Myers has it right on top of the goal. Throwing it down, and now Noseworthy will come up. And Chase Young will check out. It's behind the cage with Mack. Mack passes it all the way across the field to Curran. And then back up top to Noseworthy. Very methodical right now, the Wolverines on offense. For a pass inside, gets it to Sutherland. Excuse me, that's Mack. Mack with a couple of quick dodges behind the cage. Can't get around the defender. Another dodge to his left this time. Just no room there. The Falcons defense is stifling, and a quick shot there. Looks like that one is from Hank Adams, and that's going to go over the crossbar, so that's going to be no good as well.
Could have arguably been the best look of the night there for the Wolverines, as they're going to take a timeout now.
Air Force is going to take their first time out of the game. And Daniel, I know we've mentioned this a couple times, but the Wolverines are just not finishing offensively here.
No, as I was just getting on that, Curran looked like he may have had possibly the best look for any Wolverine all night tonight. Ends up not converting. It misses the cage entirely. And then 2 times very early into this first quarter, the Wolverines hit 2 off the upper pipe. a bit unfortunate, a bit just not being opportunistic like the Falcons have. The Falcons themselves have only had about 2 quality looks, and they converted both of them. That's been the difference so far right now. The Wolverines have been good in putting up offense here at the brand new U-M Lacrosse Stadium. Not the case tonight so far. A lot of lacrosse left to play in this one, but I mean, what do you think the Wolverines are going to have to do to change up their game plan to maybe make this a tie game by the end of the quarter?
I don't even know if it's changing up your game plan. You've got a lot of good looks if you're the Wolverines thus far. Curran, Myers, and Kevin Mack have all had wide open shots on goal, and every time they've missed them thus far. You can't be missing these shots against a team like Air Force that was picked to win their conference, the Southern Conference, at the beginning of the year. They are missing some players, but this is a solid team. And this is a team, the Air Force has struggled to put the ball in the goal against good teams. You see Denver and Duke, they only had 5 and 4 goals respectively. Have almost half of that now against the Wolverines. The Wolverines need to man up on defense, not lose their men, and really do a better job of pushing back and not letting the bigger Falcon attackers have their way on one-on-ones. And offensively, the Wolverines will have it in the offensive possession right now. They're going to need to finish these opportunities. When you're getting it right in front of the crease, you're going to have to finish, especially off some of these alley dodges. Getting these wide open shots, you're going to have to finish. And with 6 shots, 5 of them on goal thus far, you can't be missing all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great stat you just pointed out. 6 shots, 5 on goal, and perhaps the best look of them all for the Wolverines sailed over the crossbar. They're going to have to that's as simple as that. You just have to convert more shots if you want to win the game.
Hank Adams will start for the Wolverines on the far right side. Curran has it now. Running around the cage. Nothing going. They deny the pass to Noseworthy, and now it'll be Mack behind the cage. Quick dodge to his right. Tries to get around the Falcons defender, but can't. Dodge inside. Quick shot. And that'll go off of Host's leg. And a scrum for the ball now. And Sutherland looks like he's about to come up with it, but doesn't. And now a pass. He almost like shoots it like a hockey puck inside to Noseworthy. Pass to Myers. Myers on the far right side. The one-on-one. Dodges to his right behind the cage now. It's Mack back there. Passes it far across the field to Sutherland. Setting up their offense with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Quick dodge to his right. Pass inside, and another missed opportunity from the Wolverines right outside the crease. And you have to finish that if you're Brent Noseworthy.
I'm a bit in disbelief that he missed that.
Excuse me, that's Decker Curran, and that's his second miss of the game from right in front of the goal. And you cannot be missing these shots if you're the Wolverines.
I mean, that might have been the best look he might get of his college career. The keeper was completely out of place for that one. I really have no words as to how that one didn't end up in the back of the net.
Quick dodge inside from Myers. Mack pass to Noseworthy. Noseworthy with a shot, and that's going to be no good as well. And the Falcons are the first to get there. And that's going to be another missed opportunity for the Wolverines.
And you can hear and see how excited that just made the Falcons bench. They survived a bunch of really close calls, dodged a few bullets, and then were able to out-hustle, get that retained possession after the shot that went wide. They really have to be loving where they are right now here in Ann Arbor. 3 to play in the first quarter.
No stopping. That's going to be number 4 for the Falcons, taking a quick shot on the counterattack, and that's going to find the back of the net as well. 3-0 Air Force leads with 3:12 left in this first quarter.
That it's really been that has to be a scary turn of events right here for the Wolverines. If you're head coach Kevin Connery, that you do not like to see that after a bunch of really valiant efforts to come up short on your own attacking zone within about 20 seconds of gameplay. All of a sudden you went down. It looked like you were going to be down 2-1. You're down 3-0 now. Almost certainly going to be in a hole at the end of this first quarter.
That goal will go to Quincy Peen, number 4, his second point of the season, first goal of the season. The Wolverines are not in a good place with 3:12 left. Thrown in Harper at the X. Waiting for the whistles to be blown. It is. And Harper gets away with it cleanly. The first clean win of the game, but he loses it now. And come for the ball. Still on the ground. And the Falcons do get it, but a great play by the Wolverines to knock it out of his stick, and now it'll be Wolverine possession. A great defensive play there by Finn Goonan. Excuse me, that's going to be Nick DiCaprio. And that's one of the best defensive plays we're going to see all night here.
And a much-needed one at that. The Falcons had scored on their previous 2 possessions, and I really felt like the momentum was all in favor of the Falcons. Their bench was so excited. Now that the Wolverines have a stop under their belts here recently, they can maybe begin to move forward, play more confident both on offense and defense.
Michael Borda and Matt Trowbridge essentially playing keep away with Schwartz there. Finally get it past there. Pass to Chase Young is dropped, and that's going to be an offsides penalty after he dropped that one.
And there's no question which team has more energy right now, forcing the Wolverines to play keep away on any part of the field. It's really been a hard-fought battle for the Wolverines right now, and they're down 3-0. Air Force clearly is riding the momentum right now.
Just not sharp execution from the Wolverines, both on the offensive end and the defensive end. And they have no goals to show for any of their effort today. Now Air Force will set up their offensive possession, make their last substitutions, and get all 6 men that they want on this. Pass behind the cage now to Schwartz.
Air Force certainly taking their time. It's paid off for them. The Wolverines have not been able to possess the ball for too much here today, and that's part of the reason why there's a goose egg on the scoreboard right now under Michigan up here on the big board. Air Force still taking their time, working around the perimeter.
Now dodge to the right. Great defense now by DiCaprio. Causes a turnover there as he knocked the ball away, and Chase Young's going to run up with it. They've got a numbers advantage here, and Young with passes behind the cage. Now pass to Sutherland. Sutherland's got no one on him. Runs past his man. A shot and a great save there. They're going to call a flag, though. And a fantastic save there by Host.
2 officials chucking their yellow flags into the air almost simultaneously. They both must have seen something that was obvious.
Let's see what the call is from the ref.
Definitely appears to be staying in the attacking zone here for the Wolverines, as that's where the players are hanging around. 1 minute exactly to go in this first quarter once we resume play.
That penalty is going to be on Andrew Teen, number 36. 1 minute penalty. And for the last minute, you said it perfectly. The Wolverines will be a man up. Curran with it up top. It's going to be important for the Wolverines to finish on this opportunity. Passes to Myers up top. Myers with no one on him. Passes to Sutherland. Passes to Mack. Inside to Noseworthy, who has it knocked away by Host. And yet another wide open missed opportunity from the Wolverines.
Offensive woes continue for the Wolverines. Expect the Falcons to not hurry this too much. They're going to be down a man for the remainder of the quarter.
30 seconds left. Looks like they're just content to hold it here.
And they should be a 3-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. That's a fantastic result here for the currently 1-4 Air Force Falcons.
Jack Flynn just running with it now. Almost playing keep away, it looks like. And 5 seconds left on the clock. They're going to be content to just take this 3-0 lead into the end of the quarter. And that's going to be the intermission. So 3-0 Air Force leads Michigan at the end of the first quarter. And Daniel, ugly is the only word I can think of when thinking about describing the first quarter for the Michigan Wolverines. What went wrong there?
I think the Wolverines the end of the first quarter could have not come any sooner for the Wolverines. The way they were just in a total funk toward the end. I think a lot of it was psychological. They got down and they were down on themselves. They had bad breaks, bad balances, but took bad shots. Even guys who are typically so smooth and so quick with the ball, like Brett Noseworthy, he was getting stripped right there, right before the end of the quarter. Just nothing was going their way. I think they really need this break in the action here to regather themselves. They know they're a better team than this. They know this is a subpar performance for them. Air Force, to their credit, has looked really strong for most of the game today. But the Wolverines know they can be better than this, and I think this end of the quarter might be able to help them gather their focus and start playing better. I do suspect that maybe once that first goal finally goes through for the Wolverines, that might be what it takes to break the floodgate. Maybe the offense will open up like we have seen it many times here in U-M Lacrosse Stadium. But for right now, this is by far the worst performance they've put together here in the history of the stadium.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the opportunities have been there. What, 4 or 5 of those shots have been right in front of the goal with no defender on them other than the goalie. So if you're the Wolverines, you have to finish at least 3 of those. And if they had finished half of those, I mean, it's a tie game or it's a 1-goal game. So that's all the difference thus far. They've done a good job executing offense until the end and just finishing their shots. And they look a little, they don't look like they're ready for this game.
Yeah, and
at least at the beginning.
And interestingly, you were discussing how the Wolverines had taken 6 shots, 5 on goal. They're now 0 for 4 just on being on target in their last 4 shots. That's not a good trend. Both teams have taken 10 shots. Air Force, though, they've had 8 of theirs to be on goal. And I don't think Air Force has had better looks than the Wolverines at all. I think the Wolverines have had better looks, but Air Force has just done much more with those looks. And I think that 0 for 4 streak at the end of the half really shows the funk the Wolverines are in right now. I think a lot of this is going on in their heads at this point. They have to refocus. I don't think they envision themselves down 3 this early against the Falcons or if at any point in the game.
Falcons, however, are doing a great job on offense, finding looks and just manning up and beating their guys with dodges. You want to look for a positive for the Wolverines. 3 faceoffs won by Crownin, only 1 by Harper. So a solid showing at the faceoff. And we're back now. 15 minutes on the clock now, waiting for the rest whistle. Looking for hand placement right now. Stick positioning important for these refs. Whistle's blown. And looks like Harper's going to get this one. Harper picks it up, and he's going to run it into the offensive zone for the Falcons. Harper, one of the best face-off men in the country, won the face-off man of the week this past week. We said before, almost 60% at the X. Hasn't done a great job today. That's his second win. Maybe he'll be getting a little more aggressive now. Forrest has it up top. Passing along the edge. Now on the right side are the Falcons. Dodge inside, spin dodge in. Back out to Forrest. Very methodical now. Ticking down to 14 minutes left. Air Force still leads 3-0. Ruby looking inside. Gets past Bogle. Shot inside, and that's going to skip past the goal. But the Falcons are there first.
Falcons got to love this right now. Coming in as the underdogs to this game, they're 3-0, and they're taking a very long, methodical possession. That's going to help shorten this game and help their chances of leaving Ann Arbor tonight with a win.
And Forrest attacking now. Back behind the cage. Looking for a pass. Can't find one. Has a short stick on him. Now to Harubi with a spin inside. Can't find anybody, and that's going to be a pass out of bounds. Great defensive possession there, stifling Harubi, and that's going to be a turnover for the Falcons, and it's going to be Wolverine possession.
Wolverine's going to get their first chance to showcase their offense in the second quarter. I'm really interested to see what Kevin Conry may have been saying or drawn up for his players here. I'm sure he had something from his bag of tricks to pull out of here right now, and we're not going to see it yet.
We're going to call offsides there on Decker Curran, and Conry's going to shake his head. And a great play there by, who's that? Nick DiCaprio to just Finn Goonan to just knock the ball away. And that's going to get him probably another run for this first defensive line for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. That play was huge. The Wolverines were caught in transition. Things could have gotten really ugly there. Could have very easily been down 4-0. A real clutch play there by Goonan, separating the man from the ball. And now we can maybe see this Wolverine offense for the first time of the quarter, see if Kevin Conry had any plans to get them going. And another whistle.
It's going to be a timeout, it looks like.
So maybe Kevin Conry's still working on for that offensive game plan here. He'll want to draw up as strong as a play as he can, get the Wolverines a real can't-miss shot, because right now they've been finding a way to miss just about anything. As 12:39 remains here in the second quarter. Still, of course, plenty of time to go in this one. Basically 75% of the game still to be played. But a real ugly start for the Wolverines. And to Air Force's credit, a strong start on their part.
And something we haven't talked about really all this year, these stands are almost packed. 7 o'clock on a Friday night, and we have a full house here. Still have a couple empty seats, but still a great showing today from the Michigan faithful and some Air Force fans traveling out. And it's exciting to see for the sport of lacrosse to be expanding more and more. I mean, Michigan, not exactly an East Coast team with the sport's greatest, and Air Force, not an East Coast team at all from Colorado Springs. So fantastic to see lacrosse growing more and more, and a lot of young kids here with their lacrosse sticks watching some of their idols play today.
Indeed, and the fans are braving the elements here a bit today. It's 30 degrees right now in Ann Arbor, so freezing temperatures. That's not been a deterrent at all really here. I still see nearly any part of the stands are filled with fans. A real impressive showing from the Wolverine faithful. However, not that strong of a showing from the Wolverines themselves early on.
That's an understatement to say the least, but the Wolverines will have the ball now. Start with possession. Chase Young and Decker Curran will play keep away. A quick dodge by Young. Young behind the cage now. And now Buckenvidge will enter the game. His first time seeing action since the game against Yale. And they're going to call a push-off there against the Falcons after Brent Noseworthy lost the ball. Important to see Buckenvidge in the game today. Haven't seen him out in 2 games after his ankle injury, so good to see him back on the field. Chase Young with a quick dodge to his right. Looking for someone behind the cage. Passes to Bucky. Buckenvidge looking for anything right now. Gets it around to the right side, going inside. A quick shot there, and that misses the goal entirely. And the Wolverines will get there first.
Shooting woes continue for the Wolverines. That was a pretty good look, not as good as some of the ones they've missed. But the offense still is showing basically the same issues from the first quarter. They're moving the ball well, but not converting any looks.
Quick dodge by Noseworthy. Gets some open space and goes top shelf there for the goal for the Wolverines, the first one of the game. And now it is 1-3. Wolverines are still down to the Air Force Falcons with 11:33 left in the second quarter.
I'm kind of tempted to claim a jinx right there. However, we've said it about 30 times already in this broadcast. It was bound to happen at least once that a Wolverine would finally score after we criticized their shooting so far tonight. Who else noseworthy?
Noseworthy with the 17th of the year. 19th point of the year. Fantastic outpour of scoring from him. And Cronin and Harper back at the X. And a dominating win there by Cronin. He just took Harper to school there. Harper's not very happy about it, trying to get the ball back. And knocks it out. And Goonan here going to have to keep it in. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Falcons' possession there.
Well, he couldn't get the face-off win, but he sure played angry after losing it. Ends up netting Air Force possession anyway.
Falcons with the ball. Host passes it far upfield. A little bit of an errant pass, but the Falcons are there to catch it anyway. Run inside, and a great play by Goonan again to get the ball on the ground, but the Falcons will get it back again. For them, that's going to be number 0, Jeremiah Hem. That's going to be a turnover for the Falcons. Sutherland picks it up and passes it back. The Wolverines are on the attack. Sutherland with it now. Waiting on that far left side. Passes it to Curran. Chase Young has it now. Running to his left. Quick dodge down the alley. And looking for a pass back to Curran. Curran going to his right. And back to Young. Young passes to Sutherland. Sutherland behind the cage to Mack. Mack running around. A quick shot there. Diving. And that's another goal for the Wolverines. 2-3 now after a quick 2-goal run. 10:15 left in the second quarter.
And just like that, I think the Wolverines have now gotten out of their heads. They're beginning to shoot like they should be. Really an impressive one there. Diving to the ground and still getting the shot off. definitely caught the keeper off guard, though, with that unique attack right there. Now with 10:15 to go here in the first half, just the first half, 1-goal deficit for the Wolverines. They can easily get a lead by halftime if they continue to play this way for the remainder of the game.
Kevin Mack's 6th goal of the year, 16th point after a slower showing at the beginning of the year. Coming on strong now and the second leader in points on this team. Like Air Force is going to call their second time out of the game. 10:15 left in the second quarter. And what's been the largest change you've seen, Daniel, in this really renaissance of points that Michigan's had in the past really 2 minutes?
I think they've came off as a bit less hesitant. They're really playing a bit more instinctual, I'd have to say right now. It looks like not maybe overthinking the shots. That might have been some of the hesitation and just miscalculations that led to the errant shots in the first quarter. You can really tell they're having a lot more fun right now. Right when that timeout was called, several different players turned to their buddies, flexed, high-five, just did whatever. We're seeing really into it. You heard a few shouts from the crowd and the players. I think we've entered a whole new game right now. Wolverines now lead shots 13-11. And you'd have to think at this rate, the Wolverines might run away with it at the current pace of scoring they're starting to set right here in the second quarter. 10:15 to go.
Fantastic outpour of scoring in the last really less than 2 minutes, as Michigan has now cut the lead to 1 from the Falcons and really climbed up with those shots now leading the Falcons 13-11 in shots taken. Still only 7 on goal now. But dominating the second quarter are the Wolverines, and really a giant change in their offensive aggression and finishing on these shots that they've had. It's almost like these are tougher shots that they've taken in the second quarter, but they're finishing them, and that's all that matters. Star of the game defensively has to be Finn Goonan, right?
Yeah, for sure. This game could have gotten really out of hand with a 4-0 deficit. He made a clutch play, and that might have been the turning of the tide here for the Wolverines. He's kept this team in it when the offense was not performing, and now the offense, he kept them in it for long enough that the offense has found their groove now and is about to even this game back up.
Under the lights. Tonight, Falcons lead 3-2 with 10:15 left in the second quarter. Cronin and Harper back at the X, waiting for the official's whistle.
And I think this is the first time they've been able to use these new headlights here at U-M Lacrosse Stadium. First night game here, I believe. Wolverines want to end this first night game in style with a victory. They're on their way to that victory now after a rough first quarter.
Battling R2, and Harper rips it away. Let's see if he comes up with it. Still on the ground, but the Falcons will come up with it and race it past for a successful clear. Schwartz has it now. Ruby back to Schwartz on the far left side. And now to Carter.
Falcons taking their time, getting some substitutions in here. They are the team now in need of regrouping. They just called timeout. A point here would help the Woes.
Pass inside, quick shot there. But a nice save by Trowbridge. I don't even know if he got a piece of that. Nonetheless, it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to remain Falcons ball. Carter with a couple dodges, not able to get around, passes to Ruby. Back outside to number 48, Chess Dunson. And now back to Carter. Carter with the dodge to his left. Boggle on him. And terrible angle there taken by Boggle. So Carter able to run in, take a quick shot, and that goes in for the Falcons. 4-2 now the lead for Air Force. 9:04 left in the second quarter.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Falcons right there. That's going to end the momentum that the Wolverines had that was turning in their favor. Still a lot of time to play here in the first half alone, 9:04 to go. But this game feels a bit more even now after the Wolverines started to have all the momentum in the world. The ensuing face-off will be interesting given that Air Force won the previous face-off and never allowed the Wolverines to get the ball back after that, which goes to show how important that stat's going to be for the remainder of the game.
Carter with his first goal of the game, second of the season, excuse me, and second point overall of the season. With an infraction there by Cronin, he struggled over the past couple. After that 4-1 lead he took on the faceoff, it's now 4-3 with 2 consecutive losses. Falcons possession. Forrest has it. Forrest and Flynn playing catch right near the M at the halfway line. And Flynn will take it to his left. Passes it back to Forrest. Forrest will have it right on top. Back to the middle right by that M. And then back to Flynn. These two love playing catch with each other. Flynn with a dodge to his right and then back to his left. Run inside. Nice double team there.
Wolverines were a lot more protective of Tobridge's right side right there after the previous goal coming from a flank on the right.
Ruby attacks from the left side. Nothing going, and we'll pass it back out. Forrest will reset up top. Then to Flynn. Flynn get on the left side. And then back to Ruby, who's not looking, and that ball is going to be on the ground. But he picks it up. Ruby passes it to his left to Forrest. Forrest looking for a shot here. Doesn't take it. Now back to the right side. Going to reset as well. Back to Flynn. Flynn on the far left behind the cage. Behind the cage is Schwartz. Pass it all the way back up top to Forrest. Very slow and methodical with 30-25 left. You need to see when the shot clock comes into play for the first time in this game. 10 seconds left on that. And that's going to be Wolverine possession. No, the ball is still on the ground. And they get a fresh 30 now. And now the Falcons will reset with 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Kind of a catastrophic error there by the Wolverines, not able to get possession, allowing Air Force to possibly regain a 3-goal lead here now. And the Wolverines have not had an offensive possession in maybe 4 minutes of game time.
With 6:45 left, the shot clock is off. A quick shot there by number 20 of Air Force, Trey Lervick. And that's going to find the back of the goal. 5-2. Falcons lead. And Daniel, we were talking about jinxing it earlier. I'm afraid you just did right there. That's going to bring the Falcons lead to 3 there after a miscue on defense from the Wolverines.
Perhaps the jinx might be out there. That was the first time I believe I referenced the the possibility to regain a 3-goal lead. Unlike about the 50th time I referenced the Wolverines shooting woes before Noseworthy put one in the back of the net seconds later. Wolverines have not had possession in quite some time. They're going to have to win the faceoff if they want to ever get on the board again, maybe. Who knows?
And faceoffs are all tied up 4-4 now. Running Harper back. The X waiting for that ref's whistle. They get it. And Harper's just dominating there right now. Gets another win. Runs right up the heart of the defense. Has it knocked away. A vicious hit by Goonan yet again.
Still a scrum for the ball, and finally Air Force ends up recovering it. That was a loose ground ball for about 10 seconds there, maybe a bit shorter, but no one could seem to get their stick on it. It's about 5 players from both sides were chasing it. Eventually Air Force recovers, and they're going to take their time now, get in their subs, and run the offense they want here, looking to expand on their largest lead of the night.
With 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Air Force leads 5-2, and we'll have the possession right now, setting up with Schwartz behind goal, and they're taking their time. Schwartz running inside, dodges to a left. Passes back. Back to Schwartz now. Schwartz looking behind the cage to Harudi. Dodge to his left. Great double there by the Wolverines.
More of a quadruple.
Pass there and an interception there by Goonan.
Tenacious defense right there.
Schwartz tried to pass it up top and could not get the ball through Goonan's stick. Now Decker Kern will check in and will attempt to get it past the halfway line for a successful clear from the Wolverines.
And it's almost been a full 5 minutes since the Wolverines had their last true offensive possession. It's going to be big for them to finally get back on the board here. Just under 5 to go now in the second quarter. The Wolverines scored with a bit over 10, and that was their last real possession. So that might give you an idea of how much the Wolverines have struggled to get off the defensive side of the ball here.
Wolverines finally in an offense possession. Buknovich has it. Buknovich getting a run with the first teamers now after Hank Adams struggled to make an impact early on. Curran has it up top, dodges to his left, spin to his right. Gets inside there, passes to Mack. Mack looking inside, pass to Young. Young shoots and scores for the Wolverines. 5-3, the Wolverines are down, 4:21 left in the second quarter.
Exactly what the Wolverines needed. It'd be quite terrifying for them to lose possession, go back on what could perhaps be another very long defensive possession. If they were to concede another goal, that might take the life right out of them. But now they've got some energy back in their hands. Down 3-5, they're back in this one. And kind of earlier talking about how the Wolverines are doing well on faceoffs, not doing well in the other aspects of the game. Wolverines started doing well in every other aspect of the game, then struggled mightily on faceoffs and got back into a big deficit just by never possessing the ball again. We'll see what happens here. This faceoff should be huge for either side.
Wolverines need another win here. Try to cut the lead to 1, and they don't get it as Harper has it with ease. Again, this time, that's 2 in a row he's dominated. He's running up, does not get hit this time, and the Falcons will start their offense now. Looks like Harper's going to run out now. Falcons setting up their offense, making the subs they need with 3:50 left in the second quarter. Defensive substitution now will get Christian Pong back in the game. Now it's dodge to the left from Carter. Carter passes it by, indicates Schwartz. Schwartz looking inside, finds 48. It's going to be Dunstan who shoots it over the cage, and it's going to be Falcons possession still. Ruby with the dodge to the right, attempts to shoot it, still has possession of the ball through a flux of Michigan defenders. Amazing that he kept possession there.
Yeah, he survived about 4 different one-on-one assaults from defenders. Impressive stick handling right there.
Almost down to 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Getting closer and closer to halftime. Wolverines need to stop here to stop the bleeding now. Boggle on defense right now, playing on Schwartz. Passes it up top to Dunstan. Dunstan setting up. Now it's Carter on the right side. Back to Dunstan up top, who passes to Harubi, excuse me. He has it on the left, back behind the cage to Schwartz this time. Schwartz has Baroda on him. Back to Harubi. Cuts inside, attempts to take a shot, but it's knocked away. That's going to be a ground ball. And looks like Harubi stepped inside the crease, so it's going to be Wolverines' possession with 2:27 left. And the whistle's blown, and we're still underway here.
This could be a great opportunity for the Wolverines to end the half on the high note. Ideally, they could score quickly and maybe get another one in before halftime to knot things up. But nonetheless, it's been a back and forth quarter. If they could seal it here with a goal and maybe make it a 1-goal game going into the half, that would really be meaningful for them and make this game feel very much within their reach.
Mack has it behind the cage. As we said before, really the offense or the quarterback of this offense. Chase Young with the dodge to his right. Another shot there. And that goes far, far left. That's going to be no good. But the Wolverines able to retain possession because they were first to the end line. Dodge inside from Mack. Mack goes bottom left corner. Bounced in, but does not matter. 5-4. Air Force still leads, but another goal from Mack, his second of the day.
An impressive one, not dissimilar to his first. Really looked like he just got the ball rolling toward the goal so quickly the keeper had no idea where the ball was. Looking at the live replay here in the stadium, I think the keeper was more looking for Mac to pass rather than take a shot. Successful effort nonetheless, and that makes it a 1-goal game with 98 ticks to go in the first half.
Cronin has struggled from this X thus far. Lost his past 4 in a row there. Harper getting on his groove now. And a Fogo guy like that, you never want him to be hot like this. Harper wins it again, but the ball is on the ground. That's going to be a push there from the Falcons, so it's going to be Wolverine possession now.
And that's going to give a full minute and a half for the Wolverines to tie this up as they enter the half. Good turn of events for the Wolverines here in the final moments of the second quarter. If they can make this a tie game going to the halftime, they really have to be happy how they survived a mini run within this quarter by the Falcons. Looking a lot better as a whole in the second quarter.
Behind the cage now. Fakes a pass to Young. Gets inside. An easy dodge there. Gets a wide open shot, but isn't able to finish. And then a giant hit there by Decker Curran. Gets around 4 players. Has a wide open shot at the goal. Passes it to Sutherland, who passes to Noseworthy. And a fantastic save there by Host. 2 fantastic opportunities there for the Wolverines. Not able to finish. And a timeout now from the Wolverines. 40.9 seconds left in the quarter. And two fantastic opportunities for the Wolverines, and cannot finish on either of them.
You could really feel the crowd that's here tonight. They erupted a couple times there. So it looked like the Wolverines. First, Kieran laid that big hit, was able to play it into a teammate, and quite a few great looks, but none of them were able to be converted. Wolverines now 9 for 18. 18 shots, 9 of which have been on goal, scoring 4 of those. They're going to retain possession, but they have to be kicking themselves, so they could not find a way to score after that 5-second stretch right there.
Buknovich does look to be a little bit injured still, limping on the sideline. Looks like he took a little bit of a hit there. It's his left leg. Be interesting to see if he stays in the game. We'll get in the middle of the huddle now. So he's played a little timid today. You can tell that he's coming back from an injury, but still one of the best players on this team. And at the start of the year, it was him and Noseworthy, and especially that first game of the year, it was a battle of points, if you remember. I mean, they were going tit for tat, and him and Noseworthy at the head of this offense, and Kevin Mack coming on more and more as the season goes on, and you have really a 3-headed attackman that can really, really attack defenses and are really strong and can go up against the best of the best. And you saw that against Penn when 3 of them were playing. They were in that the entire game. Something that's not talked about enough with this Michigan team is they're in almost every game they play. Even the game against Yale where they lost by 4 or 5 goals, they were in it for most of the game. They fell off at the end. But, with first-year Kevin Connery, this is an entire change of culture here at Michigan. And this is really – I'm only a freshman here, and I know you're only a sophomore, but this is something we really haven't seen much. We haven't seen this competitive nature where, they want to win every game, and they're in every game. And now with 40 seconds left, we're going to see the Wolverines try to attempt to get one more goal here and try to tie this game going to halftime. Dodge by Chase Young to left. Looks to shoot, but does not. Back to Curran. Curran with a dodge to the right now, but passes instead. Sutherland on the left, pass to Young. Young inside. Quick shot there, and that's going to find the back of the cage. 5-5. It's all knotted up here at the Michigan Lacrosse Stadium. A fantastic spin move there by Chase Young to get inside right in front of the cage, and he just dumped it right past the legs of Host.
And it was a long road to get there, but finally, in the waning seconds of this second quarter, the Wolverines were able to tie this up, probably their goal going into the second quarter. Took a while. They saw some hardship. They had a 5-minute stretch where they conceded 2 goals, never really possessed the ball for a second in that time period. To tie game, though, nonetheless, a real strong finish from the Wolverines. 16.1 to go. Certainly enough time for a quick goal, although, be it unlikely, Wolverines did concede a goal in 8 seconds off of face-off to start the second half in their opener against Cleveland State.
16 seconds left at the X now. And down to 12, still no one has possession. But eventually, Michigan does win it with 8 seconds left. Let's see if they can do anything. And they immediately throw it away with 4 seconds left on the clock. 2.3 now after the whistle. And that's about going to do it for this half. The whistle's blown, ball is thrown, and that's going to end the half here at the Michigan Lacrosse Stadium, tied up. Air Force 5, Wolverines 5. And Daniel, let's get a quick couple thoughts here before we go to halftime.
I thought that was a really resilient half there by the Wolverines. They played quite poorly in the first half, maybe if only in the offensive aspects of finishing. Nonetheless, it was a real ugly half to watch. They could have gotten down on themselves. They came into the second quarter really strong. Then immediately after that, Air Force put on a show for just 5 minutes, totally dominated the game. Could have been easy for the Wolverines to give up then. They did not. They ended up tying this game up right before halftime. I think resilience is the key for them. You mentioned they're in every game, and I think that's just kind of the culture you were alluding to. They've got a fighting spirit right now, and they never are out of anything.
This is WCBN sports coverage of Michigan lacrosse on the WCBN Sports 2 YouTube channel. You can go over the YouTube 1 YouTube channel real quick, and while we're at halftime for the next 10 minutes, you can listen to some Michigan baseball playing Lipscomb. Michigan is leading 13-7 in the bottom of the 7th. So if you want to go catch some of our friends like Max Brill, Teddy Gutkin, and Austin Falco there, go catch some of them, listen to some Michigan baseball, and come back in about 10 minutes. We'll be back then. About 9.5 left in halftime. 5-5 Air Force and Michigan are tied. We'll be back in 10. And we're back from the Michigan Lacrosse Stadium. Halftime just ended, and the first whistle of the second half is blown. And looks like the Falcons will win this first faceoff. Michigan is tied with the Air Force Academy 5-5, and we are just getting underway in the second half now.
It might feel like all the momentum is with the Wolverines with that high-flying finish to the first half they had, but keep in mind that Air Force has yet to trail at all in this game, and they can keep that. They might never trail in this game, and they can help make that happen with a goal on this possession. They've not had a whole lot of possessions, but they've done a lot with them. They've been very slow and methodical, as evidenced right here, where they still have yet to enter really the attacking zone, as they just are doing so now, taking their time to get the looks they want.
Air Force has done a very good job winning faceoffs today, and has really ended the game of Connor Cronin, who has been replaced in this half by Mitch McDonald, the original starter for most of this year at the Fogo spot. So the Falcons have about shaved off a minute off this game clock now, just passing it around. And now a dodge to the right, inside, and a quick goal from the Falcons. A fantastic upper right-hand shot there. That's going to be number 15 for Air Force, making that Roman Rohrback. A fantastic shot with a lot of velocity coming from that leg. And that's going to give Air Force the lead. And as you mentioned, Air Force didn't need much to push them over the edge, and they're still going to have the lead, at least for the time being.
Indeed, the Wolverines can't rest on their laurels from a great second quarter that they won 5-2. They're still down now, and they've yet to ever take a lead. That's never a position you want to be in any kind of sport.
And excuse me, that goal is going to go to Carter. It's going to be his second of the game. And now Cronin back in, excuse me. And this day is not over. McDonald just getting one attempt, and that loss, I guess, is going to end his day. But Harper gets this win as well. Harper now with his 8th win of the game.
Wolverines have to be careful. Don't want to be in a situation they were for the middle of the second quarter where they just never possessed, kept on losing face-offs, conceding goals on very long possessions, and just ages, it felt like, went on before the Wolverines could get a possession, and they were down big time by the time they finally got the ball back.
Boris has it now. 13-15 left in this third quarter. Air Force leading 6-5. Shots in this game have been all Michigan thus far. 19 for the Wolverines, only 14 for the Falcons. And the Falcons are passing it behind the cage now. Schwartz has it. Pass to Forrest. Forrest dodges to his right. Not ready for a spin move, though. And then a quick dodge to the right there for Ruby. Looking for Flynn. Cannot find him. Pass it behind to Schwartz. Schwartz back to Ruby. Takes his screen there. Looks pass back, but cannot. Boggle on defense now. Back to Schwartz. Schwartz has Broad on him. And a great interception there. That's going to be Goonan again. Goonan's been all over the field today. I think that's his 5th caused turnover of the game. Fantastic game thus far by Finn Goonan. And then just a fantastic defensive play by the Falcons there. Knocked the stick out of the hand of Parker McKee, and that's going to be Falcon ball now.
And I think Michael Borda also deserves a bit of credit for that interception that Gooden just had. I believe he got his stick on that one to tip the pass and force it Aaron toward Gooden. Nonetheless, the Wolverines waste that potential turnover, not unlike in the second quarter, where between two Falcon face-off victories, the Wolverines were going to have possession and then just turn it over almost immediately. Wolverines have possessed the ball for maybe a whole 5 seconds this quarter.
If that. No offensive possessions yet. They haven't cleared it successfully. That's going to be their first unsuccessful clear of the half. 11:30 left in the third quarter. Excuse me. A pass inside from the Falcons is going to be tipped away, and that's going to be a ground ball still on the ground. And the Falcons, there's 4 Falcons there, and a great job by DiCaprio to knock it out of the Falcons' hands, and they're still knocking it away. Knocks the stick out of his hands. That's a late push from the Falcons, and that's going to give the ball to the Wolverines.
Maybe that benefited the Falcons, though. They're at least going to have every player with a stick now.
Decker Curran will bring it into the attacking zone now, and that's a successful clear. Just under 11 minutes left in the third quarter. 6-5, Air Force leads. Sutherland evades an Air Force defender coming from his back and passes to Chase Young. Chase Young with a quick dodge to the right. Passes behind the cage to Mack. Mack to Sutherland now. Sutherland slowly jogging behind the cage. Quick dodge to his left. Go back to his right now. Come behind the cage. Quick pass inside. And that looks like Kevin Mack is going to drop the ball. And he's going to run into the crease anyway. But it's going to stay. It's going to stay Wolverine ball as he was pushed into the crease. The lucky call there from the Wolverines.
They're being granted a second chance here. They really want to pick this up.
Decker Kern gets inside, shot, and a great save by Host. A fantastic body save there. 10-10 left. It's going to be Falcon possession now.
Wolverines are going to want to end this Falcon possession quickly. That's plagued them a lot here. Just very long, methodical, monotonous Falcon possessions that just rage on and on and on. And then by the time the Falcons score, there's just not much time for the Wolverines to match those points. Once again, the Falcons taking time, making sure to get the right personnel in. Been a pretty effective strategy so far for the Falcons to limit the Michigan offense, which has been explosive here at home. Fewest goals they've scored is 9. Outside of that, they scored 15 and 13 in 2 victories. Limited to 5
Dodge inside by Ruby. Ruby shot. Great save by Trowbridge. 4th of the game. Now pass up to Boggle. Boggle's going to run it back.
And I have to commend Air Force. Basically, every time they commit a turnover, they're still right in Michigan's faces, harassing them. I think that has a lot to do with their lead right now.
Boggle, almost uncontested, running to the goal, but eventually does get hit and pass to Mack behind the cage. Mack with a dodge to his right. Now coming back, will pass to, well, pull back a pass and then pass to Sutherland. Sutherland pass to Myers. Avery Myers on the far left side, number 1. Manning up, going to his left. It's inside. A solid defense by the Air Force Falcons. Passing around the arc now are the Wolverines. Knows where they're trying to get ahead of steam going, but cannot get around his Falcon defender. Passing it now to Mack. Mack looking behind the cage now to Sutherland. Mack has it now. Takes a shot. That's ricocheted off a Falcon defender, and that's going to roll out. And it's going to be Falcon ball again. Going to be Host's 5th save of the game. Played very well today. Trowbridge only has 4. And only 40% save percentage for Trowbridge. And a great play by Sam Boundary to knock a Falcon player down, but number 36 for the Falcons will retain possession. And Beaudry again with a big hit. That's going to be a foul from the Wolverines. And Beaudry looks like he's about to head to the box. Actually, it looks like it could be Avery Myers on that penalty. See how long it's going to be.
Officials still sorting it out, but Wolverines.
1 minute penalty.
Every time the Wolverines get back into this game tied up, they just, or at least make it close, they begin to start marching backward again and get themselves in another hole. Good news for the Wolverines is the 2 penalties that have been awarded tonight have resulted in turnovers very quickly, so maybe this won't hurt them too badly, but right now they're down in numbers, and that really should never be a good thing.
Attacking defense by DiCaprio causes the Falcon player to get around him. The pass to Schwartz up top. Now Ruby has it. Back behind the cage. Goes number 20, Lavrick. Inside, that's going to be to Ruby, and that's going to go into the back of the net. Excuse me, that's not Harumbi, that's Tien. That's going to be a 2nd goal of the game. That's going to push the lead to 2 for Air Force. 7-5, they now lead with 7:20 left in the third quarter.
Once again, the Wolverines, they play catch-up. They get the game even, then they start to fall back again, have to restart the game of catch-up. They're back into the catch-up mode right now. We're halfway through the third quarter. 7:20 to go. Wolverines have yet to get on the board. They need to consistently have an offensive attack going. They keep on scoring in spurts. And while that's exciting in the moment, no consistent offensive attack here, and maybe winning their first face-off of the quarter could change that. We'll see how this face-off goes.
That's going to be Tien's third goal of the season, second of the game. And the assist goes to Lervik. And Air Force is going to swap goalies now as Noah Schwab will enter the game. A scrum for the ball now. Looks like all the Michigan players are on top of Air Force guys, and it's going to actually be Michigan ball now as Finn Goonen will pick it up.
And that, I believe, is Michigan's first face-off win of this half.
Mack has it now.
Could be vital in changing the tide of the second half for the Wolverines.
Chase Young passes to Noseworthy. Noseworthy's going to set up the offense for the Wolverines. Back to Young. Rocco pass inside of Noseworthy. Noseworthy hits it off the pipe, and that's going to be no good. That's going to remain Wolverine ball with 6:45 left in the third quarter. Mack attacking now, gets around the Falcons defense. Passes to Noseworthy. That's a dangerous pass. That's going to go out of bounds unless a Falcon can save it. And a scrum for the ball, still slamming it now. Almost a tackle there by Curran. That's not going to be a foul. Noseworthy has it, and he's going to take it out.
Noseworthy wisely collects himself and decides he has to restart the offense there.
Fantastic job by him retaining that ball there.
Wolverines are a bit fortunate to end up with possession there. That kind of surprised me that they were able to get away with that.
Mack with a fantastic shot there off of one leg. Jump shot there. That's going to push. That's going to cut the lead to 1. Michigan is losing right now 6-7 with 6:07 left in the third quarter, and a fantastic shot by Kevin Mack. And that's going to be his third goal of the game. He's got the hat trick already in the third quarter, and a fantastic game for the freshman as he's been the best player on the field thus far.
Yeah, you were talking about it earlier in this game, how Mack has really become part of the three-headed monster that the Michigan offense usually is. Maybe not so much tonight. 6 goals isn't awful, but it's a little bit less than you would be hoping for. But nonetheless, Mack has really had a coming-out party tonight. Already was the leading scorer for the Wolverines. Now expands on that lead. 3 goals, 1 assist.
And Goonen now taking faceoffs against Harper. And he looks like he got his stick under Harper. And Harper's going to get that win for Air Force. But assist might go to Alex Buckenbidge on the last goal. So fantastic freshman to freshman play there. Going to be a face-off violation from Finn Goonen. And Finn's been everywhere today. Fantastic game from him defensively. 5:30 left in this third quarter. Air Force looks to play keep away a little bit and shed some clock. They're leading 7-6 at this point. They've played in a couple close games. Last 2 they've played 8-7, lost 8-7 lost to Cleveland State and an 8-7 win against Marist. Their only win of the season.
Meanwhile, the Wolverines have had a couple close battles themselves. They defeated Bellarmine here a few weeks ago now. Back in February, 9-7. That was a tight one. Also had
Schwartz playing catch behind the goal now. Quick dodge there by Schwartz. Playing keep away from Carroll. And great passing inside. And that's going to be Lervik, his second of the game. And that's going to push the lead to 2 again. 6-8 now the score with 4:40 left in the third quarter.
Really I'm not sure the Wolverine defense is able to allow a man to get that open, that close to the crease. That's a recipe for success for any offense. 8-6 deficit for the Wolverines, 4:40 to play in the quarter. That could have been the biggest lapse from the Wolverine defense I think we've seen all day.
And that peg behind the goal acting as a third defender there and just knocking one of the defenders down for the Wolverines. Act as a pick there. It's a struggle for the Wolverines, but they're going to have to answer here and see if either McDonald or Cronin can get a win here at the X. Whistle's blown. And Harper gets the win again. Cronin, though, is there, and ball is on the ground, though. And now the Wolverines pick it up, but can they clear it? It's still on the ground. And Goonan picks it up. And Borda gets it, passes to Sutherland, and the Wolverines will have possession. It's a miracle.
And perhaps indeed, Wolverines badly needing that possession. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm sure it's not pretty right now. The possession numbers for the Wolverines this quarter. Looks like we're having a timeout for a Air Force player to adjust his gear. Can't quite identify what he's working on, but maybe
looks like some shin pads there, or his shoes. Something there on his legs. And with 4:06 left in the third quarter, we're taking a little break here. Air Force is leading 8-6 as a WCBN presentation of a Michigan lacrosse game. Air Force against Michigan. I'm Alex Kramer alongside Daniel Thompson, and the whistle's blown, and we're underway again. Chase Young has it, running straight through the defense of Air Force, right down Broadway. Back to Mack, and then over to Alex Buknovich. Buknovich looking to dodges straight inside, and not get by his man. Back to Mack, almost falls into the crease. Another dodge to his left. Back outside to Rocco Sutherland. Rocco moving to his left. And now passes out to Chase Young. Chase Young dodged to his right. See if he can get a shot off here. Decides not to, and will look to pass. Now runs inside. Gets a shot off, and goes to the right side bottom. That's going to be another goal for Chase Young. And that'll cut the lead to 1 again. And we have a back-and-forth affair here in the third quarter. 3:24 left, and Air Force still leads. But the lead is cut to 1, 8-7.
A fantastic game for the senior out of Philadelphia. Chase Young now ties Kevin Mack, a freshman, for leading goal scorer here for the Wolverines. They both have 3. Noseworthy has 1. So that's an interesting tandem right there. You got the freshman and the senior leading the team in scoring.
And for Chase Young, that's going to be his 5th goal of the year, 3rd of the day.
So a real breakout performance from him tonight.
Love to see that from your upperclassmen seniors, especially the midfielders who don't get a lot of chance to play on the offensive unit. Young's getting a long run with those offensive players today, though. Cronin and Harper fighting it out now, and Harper gets the win again, just starting to dominate there. And now we're starting to see why he's one of the best in the country.
Yeah, he's really – I really doubt that Air Force is winning this game. I think they're probably in a multiple goal deficit, if not for Harper's fantastic performance from the X tonight. He's really just it's been not only helping set up Air Force goals and offense, but it's been great defense too, keeping the ball out of the dynamic Wolverine offense's hands. Really been an outstanding performance on his part.
Dodge to the right for the Falcons. Falcons passing inside, pass behind the cage now. And a skip pass that'll fall away from, looks like Flynn, but he'll retain possession. 2:30 left in the third quarter now. Behind the cage are the Falcons. Quick dodge to the right. No shot off. But a pass there to Schwartz. Now to Ruddy. At number 48. Now to great save by Trowbridge off a skip shot. And it's going to be his 5th save of the game. Wolverines can clear it here. They will get a chance at offense, but they throw it away immediately, and now Flynn will pick it up.
I'm really impressed by it with that Trowbridge's save there, though. The previous Air Force goal was basically from the exact same position from the same shooter, Trey Leverick. That time, Trowbridge, I guess, learned from the past, was able to make a good save there. But
he cannot get a clear, and a long stick shot there. That time from number 0, Haim. And that's going to be a great save by Trowbridge. Again, 2 in a row. It's going to be a 6th save now. And let's see if the Wolverines can clear it this time.
And Air Force shot just a smidge too quickly for me to jinx the Wolverines. I was about to say Trowbridge might have to come up with another one. Had Air Force waited a second, I would have gotten that sentence off, and maybe I would have jinxed the Wolverines, and Air Force could have scored. But they were a bit too quick there. And now the Wolverines have a great opportunity to tie this game back up entering the fourth quarter.
Young in again for the Wolverines on offense. Dodges to his right, runs down the alley. And dangerous pass there, but Mac almost loses it, but retains possession. Wolverines looking for something going here. Mac will run in. Pass it to Rocco Sutherland, who cannot retain possession, and that's going to be a turnover, as it was a pass and will not be called a shot. Falcons have possession with just about 50 seconds left in the third quarter, and they are leading 8-7. Clock's running again, just be set under a minute left, as Forrest will take the ball up. Young on him. Across the midway line at 40, but he falls down instead, but retains possession somehow, but Young will get it now.
Who else? Chase Young, the senior, having a phenomenal game.
Now it's Sutherland with the shot. A pass instead to number 10. Let's see who that is. That's going to be Sean McCanna, and that's going to be his second goal of the year, his first goal today, and that'll tie the game up going into the end of the third quarter with 28 seconds left. A fantastic pass there by Rocco Sutherland, and McKenna almost had to just tap it in there. And a fantastic pass. That was all Rocco Sutherland. McKenna was in the right place at the right time, and it's tied up at 8 here with 28 seconds left in the third quarter.
Indeed, that looks a lot more like maybe a goal you might see in hockey or soccer, where the keeper is totally beat and then a teammate just tips it in. Kind of unique goal there in lacrosse. Chase Young, the senior, having maybe one of the best games of his career, gets the steal, finds Sutherland, who then finds Sean McKenna, a fellow senior, is able to get the goal.
And Goonan immediately loses the ball, and it's called for a slash, so that will give the ball to the Falcons. They're going to give it to the Wolverines with just about 25 seconds left. And 20 seconds left now, as the second team midfield is in now. But Rocco taking the ball with 15 seconds left. And looks like the Wolverines will be content to take this into the last quarter, tied at 8. And Chase Young trucks a guy, but is down. He has a step for a shot, and that's going to hit a defender with 1 second left, and that's going to end the quarter. And Michigan and Air Force are in a deadlock right now, tied at 8, and there's some pushing and shoving now from the Wolverines and Air Force.
Flag on the field, too.
Looked like Noseworthy might have thrown a punch there or pushed someone, as Connery just pointing to the bench and getting his team on the sideline. Not happy with his senior Young or Becker Curran, who is in the middle of that scrum, and it's going to be interesting to see. It looked like Brett Noseworthy might have thrown a punch there, or at least pushed off, so it's going to be interesting to see if a penalty is called on him, if he's going to be able to play in this last 15 minutes.
All three officials are convening right now between the big maize M and the white stripe, denoting what was the Michigan attacking zone in the third quarter. They're having quite a bit of a conversation, still talking, and now they're separating. I believe we're going to get a ruling here just now. Heading over to talk to Air Force head coach, about to make an announcement here. It'll be interesting to see. This could have major impacts on the fourth quarter, especially if it is going to be a penalty against Noseworthy.
They may call sports-like conduct penalties against both, but it looks like they're just pointing against the Michigan sideline at this point. Very interesting to see what happens here as Connery's going for an explanation now. And he's getting one. Let's see. Doesn't look very happy with it.
No, definitely not. Trying to read the body language here. His hands are getting pretty mobile right now. He's being quite expressive, I guess you could say.
And it's going to be a 1-minute penalty on Noseworthy. And it looked like he did push off at least. And he's lucky to be able to play. But that's not a smart play for your junior captain. And going into the fourth quarter to start off, the Wolverines will be down a man.
Nonetheless, the Wolverines have to be pretty happy that they're able to knot things up right before the end of the quarter. But once again, it's kind of been a theme here. Wolverines start in a pretty good position, then start to retreat, have to play catch-up, then fall behind again. That might be what happens right here. Could be a hard start for the Wolverines, but they've certainly made a really entertaining game for this large crowd out here at U-M Lacrosse Stadium.
And it will be Falcon ball to start off. There will be no face-off to start off the fourth quarter, and it will be Falcon ball as the whistle is blown.
Do you think Harper is bummed out about that? That's missing out on an opportunity to win another face-off?
Well, he's 110 now, so he's doing very well today, and has won the face-off battle thus far. As it's not as great as it has been in other teams, but still a fantastic performance by him today.
And the Wolverines entered the day 496 out of 1,000 on their face-off percentage. That's going to expectantly take a dip today.
Some sloppy offense now by the Falcons as the pass off of a midfielder's stick falls to the ground. But they are able to retain possession now with about 20 seconds left on the man-up opportunity. And a fantastic steal there. Looks like it's by DiCaprio. And now the Wolverines will be able to kill off this penalty and will have a chance on offense themselves.
DiCaprio just picked that out of midair. I couldn't really understand how that ball ended up in his stick. It must have been just a poor pass from Air Force or just unbelievably quick reflexes. It was quite impressive nonetheless, and a quick transition for the Wolverines as Noseworthy comes in and immediately receives the ball.
Now it's going to be Buknovich with the ball. And it looks like the Wolverines were lucky to not be called with an offside penalty there, as Myers was not very vocal with his getting off, and Noseworthy got on a little bit early. They got no call there, so lucky break for the Wolverines. Buknovich playing on the left side now. Dodge is right.
This is one of very few times tonight where the Wolverines have been tied and having possession. That's how you take a lead.
Noseworthy gets inside and nutmegs the keeper for an easy goal there. Bounced it in. That's going to give the Wolverines their first lead of the game. They lead 9-8 with 13-12 left in this game.
And he immediately shows his impact. Gets his second goal. Only 3 goal scorers today for the Wolverines. I'm forgetting Sean McCanna, who scored one right before the end of the third quarter.
And that's going to be Noseworthy's second of the game, 18th of the year, and that's going to put him at 20 points. So he's having a fantastic year for the Wolverines, and their star player is playing very well thus far.
Indeed, and that really shows why head coach Kevin Connery might have been very upset with even Brent Noseworthy missing just a minute as opposed to maybe the remainder of the quarter. He really just does so much for this offense.
And Cronin at the X now, and Harper able. Oh no, Cronin gets it. A fantastic job by him to get a win there, and Boudry's there on offense. But now he's going to run off, and the Wolverines are going to control it for once, and they're going to be able to get the subs they want in. Noseworthy's about to check in now, as he does, and Chase Young will also check in. Young and the tandem of Young and Noseworthy has been fantastic today from the midfield, as well as the attackers, Kevin Mack and Alex Buknovich. Rocco Sutherland been a great passer today, and this has been an all-around solid game from the Wolverines' offensive side, and something we really didn't think we'd say after the first quarter. Buknovich with a behind-the-back pass to Noseworthy, but that bounces off a defender. His shot, a fantastic pass there that no one in the crowd calls something. And now Noseworthy will pass it behind the cage. Now it's Mack there. Mack running around, trying to trip up his defender. Gets it inside to Curran. Curran with the shot, and that goes in. And that'll give the Wolverines a 2-point lead, 10-8 with 12:02 left. The Wolverines on a little bit of a run now.
Out of nowhere, the Wolverines had not led for the whole game. Quickly, they get their first lead, and now not 3 minutes into this fourth quarter, the Wolverines have their first multiple goal lead, and that might be enough here for the Wolverines to start to really feel it and maybe pull away in this game. You can really feel the momentum switch. I mean, you got to credit the crowd at least a bit here. They've really added to the feel of momentum in this game. It's made my job easier because it just kind of calls your attention to everything that's big, everything that changes everyone's perception of this game. Really a great crowd today.
Mack having a great game today. His second assist of the game. That puts him at 12 on the season. And he has 2 goals as well. That's going to move his total up to 19 points on the year. And he's getting very much closer to Brett Noseworthy's leading 20. So both players having a fantastic game. And now after an infraction, it will be Falcon ball. That's going to be another win for Harper. And he's done amazing from the photo spot today.
Once again, Air Force taking their time, but maybe that strategy has to change up a bit here now. They usually were doing that with the lead. They're now down 2 really quickly. They might have to put the pedal to the metal a bit here more in the end of the fourth quarter if they want to tie this thing back up with 11.5 to play. Nonetheless, you also just got a taste of how explosive the Wolverine offense is. The strategy of keeping them without the ball might still be a valid one, even despite the 2-goal deficit.
Air Force being very methodical in their offense as they have all day, not pushing the fact that they're down 2, not trying to get ball 2 back in this very possession, which you cannot do in college lacrosse. So playing very, very methodical, and they're running inside, pass it back to Schwartz. Schwartz behind the goal. Pass to Schwartz, gets it back. Passing it along the edge. Running inside. Schwartz has it again. That'll be all the way up top to number 35. That's going to be Carter. That goes off the top of a head of a Wolverine. And ball still on the ground. Now Ruby picks it up, passes it to Schwartz, and Schwartz is going to slow it down now. 10:30 left in this game. A shot there from number 48, Lervick, and that's going to be a fantastic save by the post. And that's the post's third of the game for the Wolverines, as they've had a little bit of an extra goalie in there today. Bogle playing some solid defense now on Hirobi.
Air Force still taking their time. Have gotten 1 shot off in about 2 minutes of possession. Still taking their time.
Methodically passing it across the arc now. Schwartz passing it up top. A shot there. Looks like it was by Dunstan, but the Falcons will retain possession. 9:46 left, and it looks like the Wolverines are going to take a timeout. So after a couple unsuccessful plays run by the Falcons, if you're interim head coach Bill Watson, what are you going to tell your team here to run up to try to get a quick goal to get back in this game?
You know, my initial reaction was the Air Force has to change their game plan. They have to really get going here. But I really actually respect the way they've kept their composure. They kind of got unfortunate. They've been winning the face-offs. The second they got down when they lost one, or it got committed a turnover almost immediately after winning it, whatever the ruling was officially on the scorebooks. But really got a bit unfortunate there. The second things started going against them. But they've really done what they've been doing best. It's the reason why they might have been – I don't think most people would have thought the Wolverines would be leading by more than 2 at this point. And I think the composure Air Force has had and how successfully they've implemented their game plan is why they're still very much in this thing. So I would really recommend just maintain this course at least for the next 5 minutes. There's still plenty of time, not time to panic just quite yet. Do what you've been doing. You've been doing it well. Stick with it, and Air Force is by no means out of this game.
Both teams have done a solid job overall in this game with ground balls, about even thus far. Looks like Michigan with 20 and Air Force with 20 as well. So both of the midfield and the defenders doing a solid job getting ground balls and locating the ball and fitting it in their stick. It's going to be interesting to see what Air Force chooses to do here. This is coming towards the end of this game, about 2/3 left of this last quarter of play. Falcons are needing of a goal to change the momentum of this game, and the Wolverines want to stop them here to gain a little more momentum themselves. And the whistle is blown now. The Falcons will take possession. Dunstan has it and passes it up top. Playing very methodical now, as they have all day. Force picking their spot now. A pick will be set by Carter. Running inside. A shot from number 36. Let's see who that is from Air Force. That's going to be Andrew Teen. That's going to be his 3rd of the game, and that's going to cut the lead to 1 for Michigan this time. And Teen having his best game of the year thus far. He had 2 points coming in on the day, and he already has 3 goals thus far. So more than doubling his output of the year. a fantastic game from him. Now it's going to be 10-9 Michigan leads with 9:30 left in this last quarter.
And just in all likelihood, it's going to be an Air Force possession again coming out of this face-off.
And this is what we see with these fantastic Fogo guys. We see it with Trevor Baptiste. Seems like he's been there forever, but especially last year, just a dominating year from him last year. And it seems like every time they had they needed a win, that he got one. But this time, Mitch McDonald will get the win, and the Wolverines will retain possession here.
Yep, it appeared I counted my chickens before they hatched, maybe my third jinx on the night.
Let's see how many you can get.
Yeah, we'll see if I can rack up any more. I guess I have one. I have as many jinxes as the leading goal scorers, so we'll see who's on top of the leaderboard at the end of the night.
Now Bucky's got the ball on the far left side, and Noseworthy's got it up top. Noseworthy, the quarterback of this defense, from the top, and Kevin Mack leading it from the behind the cage.
They have two quarterbacks?
Of course. This is lacrosse. Anything's possible. And a shot there by Rocco Sutherland. That's going to go past the cage, and Kevin Mack's behind it, so he will get retained possession for the Wolverines.
Let's see how this dual QB offense goes. Oh, someone lost a stick.
Buckenvidge lost his stick. Retains it, though. Trying to set a screen there for Mack. Mack one-on-one here. Let's see if he takes his man. He does. He gets by him. And an underhanded shot there from Mack. It's deflected, and it's going to retain Michigan possession as Decker Kern runs behind the cage to get the ball. Decker Kern with the spin to his right. Loses the ball. Tries to retain it. Cannot. And that's going to bounce out of bounds unless Noseworthy saved it. But it will run in bounds, and then it'll be picked up by a defender from Air Force. And a couple of hits by Bucknovich will get the flag from the Wolverines. And it was a very late flag, but nonetheless, going to be one on Bucknovich. And Air Force will have this advantage. Very much like in football, after the quarterback sees a flag thrown, they have nothing to worry about, as Bucknovich is not very happy throwing his mouthpiece on the ground and hitting it.
And you see another flag now. Now, it's different than the one thrown for Bucknovich. I'm wondering.
It was the same one. He just moved it over to the halfway line so the other referees could see it.
Okay.
But Air Force being very methodical with their offense now, waiting and picking their spots.
And this game real tight here. 10-9, 7.5. We're just through the second half now of the fourth quarter.
Quick dodge inside. And now Flynn will have it on the far left side. Decker Kern playing defense on him. Flynn has DiCaprio on him.
Air Force still taking their time. It worked for them on their last possession. Did not panic because of the deficit. Ended up scoring.
Tien with the dodge to his left. Another shot there that's going to go out of bounds. It did not look like a shot at all, but Falcons are going to retain possession. And let's see what the flag is with the stoppage of play. 6:47 left in the fourth quarter. And it is on Buckenvidge. Let's see how long it's going to be for.
So regardless of how long it is going to be the perfect opportunity for Air Force to tie this game back up. And, you know, if they score, that means they get a face-off, and they're winning the face-offs normally. So a goal here really puts them back into the game. We just now are seeing it's going to be a full minute. Michigan will be back at full strength at the 5:46 mark.
Very freshman mistake there from Alex Buckenvidge. Something we haven't seen much of the year, but a very solid player all year, making a very freshman mistake there, hitting after the whistle and hitting after his team had already lost possession. A pass inside to Hubry, who throws it over the top of the goal, so that's going to retain Falcon possession. 6:26 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan still leads 10-9.
And 21 seconds burnt off of that Air Force man advantage.
And ball's on the ground now after an errant pass. And Bowdry playing some long stick midfield defense now for the Wolverines. Attempts to steal it, but cannot. And Air Force just throws it away now with 19 seconds left on the penalty. The Wolverines will have a chance to cut it off as McKenna is in the game now. And just about 10 seconds left on the penalty. And Buckenvidge is about to come back in the game.
And I honestly cannot imagine how that could have gone worse for Air Force for that penalty. Aaron shot ground ball and then just terrible pass.
And Michigan at full strength now as Decker Kern will check in for Buknovich. And a lot of substitutions for both teams right now. And Mack with it behind the cage will pass it to Sutherland. Sutherland looking for Chase Young, but has a defender behind him. Will pass it to Young in the end. 5:30 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan still leads by a goal. Young, being methodical now, passes to Noseworthy. Passed a little bit low, but Noseworthy is able to corral it. Chase Young with a quick dodge. Passes it back to Myers. Myers to Noseworthy. And a fantastic save there by Schwab. And that's going to be a foul on Michigan. That's going to be a push-off. And both players going at it now as Noseworthy and the defender of Air Force getting a little bit chippy. But it's going to be Michigan ball with just about 5 minutes left. Mack will take it behind the cage, pass it to Young. Young will reset the offense with Buknovich back in the game.
Michigan, I doubt, will be in any great hurry to score.
Although a goal here would not hurt. Mack again falling forward under the keeper's legs, and that's another goal for Kevin Mack. Fourth of the game as Buknovich, happy for his freshman teammate, his freshman starting line mate, and the two top 100 recruits embrace, and that's going to be 11-9, the Michigan lead with 4:37 left in the fourth quarter.
And maybe he should trademark that diving goal now. That's the third one of the night, and that might be my favorite of the three. The way he just kind of gets it between the keeper's legs. That's kind of embarrassing, really. An impressive shot right there, and that kind of humiliates keepers, catches him off guard. And I guess I'll call that my fourth jinx right there. Said the Wolverines might not want to go too fast. Kevin Mack rather catches me and the keeper off guard. 2-goal Michigan lead. Third goal of the game, second, 2 assists already. That's going to be his 5th point of the game, and that's going to add to his 15 that he had coming in the game, and he's now tied Brett Noseworthy for points on the season. And a quick turnover there by the Falcons, and Bogle will pick it up. A fantastic job by him and DiCaprio to steal that ball away, and Bogle will still have it and clear it for the Wolverines. Counting down to 4 minutes left in the game now, as Buknovich will have it on the far left side. Buknovich passes to Curran up top. Curran is setting it up as Chase Young and Noseworthy will check into the game now. Bogle pumped up on the sideline after that steal. And Michigan has played fantastic defense in this quarter, gaining turnovers off of a lot of these lost faceoffs. Now Buknovich has it. Passes to Noseworthy. Noseworthy trying to get inside position, but cannot. Passes it to Young. Young with a quick dodge inside, gets by his man. Passes it off to Sutherland. Young with the screen. Young with the screen again. Back to Mack. Mack loses the ball there, and a great job there by Manet to steal the ball away from Mack with just over 3 minutes left, and Air Force needs to do something pretty quickly and get a goal here. They have scored 2 goals in under 3 minutes in this game. They are going to have to operate quickly. I think they can kiss their strategy of taking it slow and keeping the Wolverines from being an offense goodbye. They just really have to worry about scoring right now. Their keeper even has come up to about 2/5 of the way up the field to help play the ball forward.
Parker McKee now checking in for the defense possession. No one's stopping the ball. And that's going to be an offside call on the Falcons. And a great job by the Wolverines. That's a flag now. And let's see who this is going to be on. The Falcons very angry with the offside call, and that's going to be on number 40. Looks like number 24. Let's wait for the call, but that's going to be with 2:42 left in the game. The Falcons will be a man down. Michigan leads 11-9. And it is going to be on a Falcon. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He rolled the ball away from the official, and that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's going to be a 30-second penalty, and Michigan is up for 30 seconds. That essentially erases 30 seconds off the clock for Air Force off of their comeback bid here.
Yeah, that's real brutal for them. Really the worst time to make a mistake like that.
And Michigan will definitely be chewing clock here, but it's going to be very interesting to see when the shot clock comes into play for these officials. Only used it once tonight on the Falcons. Michigan has not been put on it.
It's definitely important to note that the shot clock is at the officials' discretion. So here in a tight game coming down to the end, the officials will certainly be thinking more about that.
Shot by Curran goes in. Long distance snipe there from Decker Curran. 12-9 now the score. The Wolverines are leading with 2:22 left on the clock. And that'll kill off the penalty with a 3-goal lead now the Wolverines have. And Air Force is in a very tough spot now. But if any team can do it, they can with this face-off guy they have in Harper. If he can get a couple wins here, a couple quick goals, they can be back in this game very quickly.
Indeed, goals. In most sports, scoring a goal means you have to go back on defense. In lacrosse, though, depending on how good your face-off guy is, you could potentially be getting more offense from each goal. Air Force is a team that is built for comebacks because they can score a goal and then quickly get another because of how good they are at face-offs. Meanwhile, I really hope that someone got video of junior Justin Gibbons' celebration after that Michigan goal.
He was very excited as Harper rolls the ball back, but Goonan puts a hand on it. And now Goonan swipes at a player, but Buknovich will keep it somehow. A fantastic play by him. And it's going to be looks like a timeout there from the Wolverines with 2:06 left, and they will retain possession. A fantastic play by Bucky to keep possession of the ball there.
And just doing the math here, it does appear that time is going to run out for Air Force. Sure, they can try to get a turnover and score quickly. I'm not saying it's not possible, but realistically, Air Force is about out of luck here. Michigan.
You've had a lot of jinx today, Daniel. Let's not call this one until it's officially over.
That would be the most impressive one by far. I would argue if I pulled that jinx off, but Michigan has shown that sure, burning out the clock is nice, but why do that when you can score goals? And that's what the Wolverines have been doing. Scoring 2 goals in situations where maybe other teams would have let up the offense a bit and just burnt the clock. Going to be looks like what's turning into a victory here for the Wolverines. Not early enough to call that quite yet.
Getting dangerously close to that jinx line, Daniel.
Indeed, I'm parking right by the line. Quick WCBN update. Michigan did defeat Lipscomb 16-11.
Sounds like the lacrosse score. Should be.
Yeah, that's quite the baseball score for sure. There will be still 2 more games from Nashville. Lipscomb, of course, making headlines recently for clinching their first ever NCAA tournament appearance, much like the Michigan Wolverines winning their conference and securing an auto bid. Michigan takes the first of 3 in Nashville. There will be games Sunday and Saturday for you to listen to, so make sure to tune in for those. As we are about to get back here from U-M Lacrosse Stadium, Michigan coming out of a timeout with possession, a 3-goal lead, and only 126 seconds standing between them and their 4th victory on the season.
Just a little bit update about the rest of the season for the Michigan Wolverines. After this game, the Wolverines will be back in 8 days next Saturday, March 17th, as they'll play Marquette at home in Ann Arbor. WCBN will be on the call. Should be on WCBN Sports 1, so you can check in for that game. After that, they have games against Notre Dame and University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and both of those games will be away. So a big slate coming up for the Wolverines, and another tough game against Marquette coming up. And this game is back underway. Chase Young running in, past to Buknovich, and Buknovich right in front of the cage, puts it in with ease. That's going to push the lead to 4 goals. 13-9, the Wolverines are leading with exactly 2 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and why burn out the clock when you can do that? That's always the better way, the more stylish way to put this game away. 13-9 lead now. This game is not going to look nearly as close as it was on the final scoreboards. Perhaps maybe Air Force can get us 2 or 3 more goals here in the final 2 minutes. But Air Force
was in this from the start to finish. It was a great game by them. They just could not finish that. And from all the guys that they're missing, including their head coach, it's understandable that they don't necessarily have the depth needed to finish a lot of these games.
Indeed. And Air Force actually, no matter what, is going to have led this game for longer than the Wolverines have. But
an important stat, but one that really doesn't matter much.
Oh, of course, but it does show that it was a valiant effort from Air Force. I did not give them too much of a chance going into this one. They up a great fight, but the Wolverines were a bit too strong down the stretch.
And the Wolverines are going to get the win there on the face-off. And with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, the Wolverines are going to attempt to close out this game with the ball. Rocco Sutherland has it now.
And Alex, what percentage of the fans here from at? Oh, looks like Noseworthy.
A run inside. Noseworthy misses the goal. That was a chance to put him up by 5, but could not do it. Buknovich going for the ball now. And that's going to be a foul on Buknovich. Oh, and there's some pushing after the whistle, and that's going to be another foul. Manet looks like he's about to go on the sideline, too, with 1:18 left in this game. There's a little bit of extracurricular activity that's pushing some of these players. Let's see what these fouls are, but the coach for Connery and the coach for Air Force are on the field now trying to get both teams off, and Manet is getting an earful from his coach. And let's see. There is going to be a foul on Manet.
And that's very uncharacteristic for a service academy. In basically all sports, they're known for their really good records with fouls, always near the bottom of the country in any of those stats.
Regardless, any sport is an emotional one. And Buknovich will come off here as he does look to be in a little pain. They take a check or a slash to the arm, so hopefully he's okay. But he shouldn't be needed the rest of the way here with 1 minute and 18 seconds left in the game and 1 minute. And 1 minute with a man up. And if I'm the Wolverines, I'm just eating clock now. You got a 4-goal lead. You don't need to push it. This game's all but over now, as the Wolverines will just pass it around now and try to keep away for a minute. As there's officially only 1 minute left.
And Alex, as I was trying to ask you earlier before Noseworthy interrupted me with a near goal, and right now it looks like the Michigan Wolverines are content just to pass it around, burn out this one-man lead they have. But what percentage of the fans here from the very beginning do you think are still in the stands right now?
Good 80% of them. This is a fairly packed crowd here. I'm very impressed that the Wolverines are able to do this. And they're doing a great job filling this stadium, this new stadium. This is only the 4th game in it for the men with 25 seconds left. The Air Force Academy about killed off this penalty. But as you were talking about, a lot of these fans are here. This is a rowdy, the biggest fan group I've seen here, and a very rowdy crowd today. And another goal here from Avery Myers, and I don't think that one was needed. Air Force is not very happy about that one. And an easy goal there from Myers. That's going to push the lead to 5, 14-9. Michigan wins. And now, Daniel, I think you can say with relative ease, Michigan is going to advance to their 4th win of the season. And their 4th win of the season against Air Force. Air Force will fall to 1-5. A very good game today. Michigan did pull away in the 4th quarter, scoring 6 goals. Air Force only scoring 1. But really, after that 4th quarter, Michigan has been slowly eating away at this lead and slowly getting back in this game. And this 4th quarter, they just exploded to win there. It's going to be assisted by Noseworthy, his 4th of the year, and it's going to be a goal by Avery Myers, his 5th of the season. With 10 seconds left, this faceoff should just about do it. Harper might get one more for the books, which he does with 6 seconds left. Let's see if he can do anything to pad these stats. Pass it inside. Ball's on the ground, and that's going to do it. This game is over. Michigan wins against the Air Force Academy 14-9. And Daniel, give me a couple quick things you saw on this game from the Wolverines.
It's what I said right at halftime. And it's what I'll say again. I think the mental fortitude of this team was quite impressive. They could have gotten down. They could have gotten frustrated. They kept going at it, and they played better as the game went on. The offense, we know, is just so dangerous, so many playmakers, and that really showed in the 4th quarter. That last one might have been maybe Air Force could have been resting a bit, but after going down 3-0, the Wolverines ended up winning 14-6 from that point on. Really just a game that shows how they know they can control the pace of games. They know when they're behind, they don't need to panic.
Fantastic game from Kevin Mack and Finn Goonan. Mack had 5 points on the day. Finn Goonan with more than, 6 turnovers forced. So a fantastic day from him defensively. Mack leading the way with 5 points. Chase Young with a career day with 3 goals. So a fantastic day all around for the Wolverines. And the leaders for Air Force would be TN, number 36, who had 3 goals on 4 shots for the Falcons. This has been a WCPN production of Michigan men's lacrosse as the Michigan men beat the Arizona Falcons 14-9 in this game today. My name is Alex Kramer alongside Daniel Thompson, and I will leave you with a good night, go blue, and you can pick us up here again next week, next Saturday, March 17th, when the Michigan men play Marquette here at Michigan Stadium.
And worth noting, they've never lost in the stadium, so maybe you can just assume they never will. You'll be tuning into a victory every time.
We'll see you again next week, guys. Good night and go blue.